everyone, I am Erika of Beadingschool.com and welcome to this coffee time extra. This week we are celebrating Beading School's 4th birthday. We came a long way together with you, lovely Beading School beaders, and the birthday weeks, they are always super special to me because we can just look back on what has happened, look forward to future creative shenanigans, but also just to stop, look at what is going on at Beading School, celebrate together, and also give you a bit more of an insider's view. Today is dedicated to the history and exactly to that behind the scenes view of Beading School. And I invited my friend Chloe of PinkHot Jewelry to join me on screen. And today she will be the one asking, and you can be the one asking, and I will answer all your questions. Chloe is a good friend of mine and a good friend designer also of Beading School and Beading School beaders. I would like to invite you to visit her in the designer zone in the Beading School bead shop. You can also find her tutorials in the beaders calendars, also this year and also last year. Hands up, by the way, if you have beaded already something with Chloe, and tell me what it was. And also, if you scan the code here, then you can also find Chloe's own website where she has many beautiful tutorials, and also she creates opportunities for beaders from all around the world to join and bead together. Please let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me, and then I will invite Chloe to the screen, not sooner, because it's so important that everything works well. And thank you so much, ladies, for the lovely wishes. So nice that so many of you are here for this extra coffee time with Erika. Please let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me. And so nice to see all the happy birthday wishes. Happy birthday to everyone, because we are Beading School together. And Cindy says it's all good. So then I will remove the picture, Chloe. And I will invite Chloe real life. Chloe, so good to have you here. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you for having me. Lovely introduction as well. Wow, thank you.
Well, I just love your jewelry, and everything that you create is so cheerful and colorful that it really has a special vibe.
Oh,
and I think that happy vibe, it really comes from your personality. And I'm so glad that last year we could finally meet in person, and we spent quite a lot of time together, actually, through Zoom calls too.
yeah.
These days.
Yeah, it's been great. And I just think beading people are the best kind of people. And when you get to kind of cement those friendships, it makes a massive, it's just awesome.
Yeah, we vibe. So today we are celebrating this week we are celebrating Beading School's birthday, and you prepared all kinds of
I'm going to
intriguing questions for me,
and I can't believe it.
Sorry?
I can't believe it's 4 years. To me, it feels like so much longer. I can't believe it's only 4 years, but you guys have done so much in that time.
Because it kind of like it started with the storytelling jeweler. So together with that, it's actually 10 years. I know, because I started to build it exactly before I moved to Amsterdam, and it will be 10 years in the summer, autumn.
Mm-hmm.
So 10 years altogether, but only 4 years as Beading School.
It still feels longer, I think. But yeah, exciting. Cool. Happy birthday. And that cake did look amazing. I love the little video that you put at the beginning. It was really cute.
And I'm so happy that actually this time I was there for the day when we had the cake, because I always see the amazing pictures and the amazing videos, but this was the first time that I actually went
Got to eat the cake.
that day, and I cut the cake with Andrea and I ate from the cake.
Excellent. That's the best part. What did you say?
I ate a lot from the
Oh,
cake.
good. It's your baby. It's your business. You got to eat the biggest slice of cake, I think.
So one thing that I wanted to show our bidders, if you don't mind, because I forgot to show it yesterday, and we have all kinds of gifts this week, because I think birthdays are a time to treat ourselves and our loved ones well. And we have a super nice gifts prepared for everyone. And I forgot to show the picture yesterday. So these little hearts and the AB covered Preciosa chatons are the tiny sparkly gifts that we slip into everyone's order who decides to get something from Beading School this week. And everyone receives one of these colors who places an order, and we have one gift per bidder. And then there are next levels of gifts. Actually, Hannah is asking a question. I will answer that so it doesn't disappear, and then I get back to you, Clay. So we have 3 levels of gifts, from 0 to 100 euros requiring shipping. Everyone receives one color of this cute gift. Then from 100 to 199, on top of that comes free UPS or FedEx. And then from 200 comes all 3 colors of these sparklies, the free UPS and FedEx, and the tutorial for the butterfly flower that I'm showing on the page. So just that was the important stuff that I wanted to share, and I'm all yours, Chloe. What are you curious about?
Oh my goodness, I've got lots of questions. I think we should start with the fact that, so last year, you invited me last year, which was wonderful. And we did a lot of delving into the origins of Beading School history and kind of the origins of where you started. So this time, I think we've already covered a lot of that. Most people here have seen that, and if they haven't, then they can go back and watch the interview from last year. So I'd like to know what's changed for you guys in the last year. Can you tell us a little bit about that, your highlights from the past year?
Absolutely. Yes, so last year was, by the last year, we actually had a really well thought out structure of what's happening, that over the past 4 years, we were trying to find some nice repeatable occasions, and I think this is when we could really set up a calendar and bring back what each of us loves, the Beaders calendar, the Advent, everything. And then thanks to setting up that structure, we could also free up some time to branch out to some new adventures. So one of the biggest adventures that we had last year was that together with Andrea, we traveled. Andrea is my good friend from high school and my business partner and big boss in the treasury. So
is this Andrea here holding the knife with you?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And together with Andrea, we traveled to the Czech Republic, to the Crystal Valley. And we visited some of our partners with whom we were already in touch. We also discovered some new ones. But most importantly, we also took with us a professional photo and videographer, Mona and Attila, who are making all these amazing videos and pictures. And I think this was the first time that a beading company would do that. So we could actually record all the processes, the manufacturers, and we could share it over the year. I have actually still a lot more that I could not share because they did so much. So I'm really grateful for that we could bring our beaders this insider's view. I think it's one thing to like the colors and like the shapes of our sparklies, but when you have them in your palm and then you know how they are made, you know that the history is like really like hundreds of years, goes back hundreds of years, and you see the people who touch the beads, literally touch the beads until they get to our bead mats like several times, and
It's
you
humbling.
learn, you learn more. Then that love for the beads just deepens and gets more special. So I'm really happy that we could do that.
You definitely never quibble the price of a bead again, do you? Having seen them come hot off the press, as it were, and the work that goes into them. It looked like an amazing trip that you guys had.
Oh, Chloe, it was truly amazing. I actually prepared a few pictures if you would like to see.
Yeah, I would love to.
So we started to more intensely collaborate with one of these companies who make these hand-pressed and actually hand-painted buttons and cabochons. And I love them because like there are different ways of making pressed beads, and these are made actually with the oldest style of machines. And then when they are pressed, then the ladies who paint them, they literally take every piece and apply several coatings of the color. So it's nothing like the buttons go through a machine and then there is some spraying and some more spraying, but these are really like touched,
completely handmade. Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, so this is one of the shapes that I found there, and then we played with this shape during the Spice Bazaar theme. Have you ever played with these kinds of cabochons, Chloe?
No, I bought a load of the buttons myself, so the big dragonfly buttons and some other check glass buttons, and I've got a bunch of vintage ones. And I think I bought them when I went like the first time, which was about 7 years ago now. And I have to admit they're still in my stash because they're so beautiful that I don't know what to do with them. Like I have to do them justice. And I like how your tutorials are they're simple because they let the centerpiece really speak. And I like that one you had on in the previous picture. I need to do more with them. That's my adding it to my to-do list. But they're in a box. I can tell exactly where they are. But I'm too in awe of them to almost do anything with them. I keep thinking maybe I should get like a display case for like my special beads. And because I picked up some vintage beads the other day and I've got some other bits and pieces. So I think maybe that's what I need to do with them is have a little case for my favorite special beads that I probably will never use, but I can admire.
I think that's a good idea to like still like somehow bring them to your attention so you can appreciate them daily.
But it looks like you had a real lovely little dig through all the halls and those shelves of beads that just go on and on are just mind-blowing, aren't they?
Yeah, we always love to visit Heineck of all beads, and he has a huge collection of Miyuki beads, so part of our Miyuki beads come from him, and it was just so much fun to actually select the colors together there. And of course, then we also went out for dinner, and it's just he's such an incredibly nice guy.
Amazing.
And knows a lot about bead making. And this is Andrea shopping.
Amazing. Look at that. There's just bags and bags of all sorts of things there. Massive bags.
Yeah. I love it that the photographers, they just say like, yeah, just do your thing, have fun. And then they sneak up on us. And I think this is one of those pictures when Andrea probably didn't even know that.
Did you feel a bit famous?
Yeah. Yeah. Then this was one of the museums.
It's surprisingly heavy, that press as well, isn't it? I've had a go on that one, and it's surprisingly hard work. I think I struggled. I haven't got the arm power you have.
Totally. It was really heavy work to press it.
And you're holding, I mean, I think I did it with both hands, but actually, if you were really doing it properly, like you would be holding something else that looks quite heavy. And glass is heavy, isn't it? Like, you really need some muscles.
It is, and like to coordinate everything. So this is how those buttons are made. The first
Amazing.
button cabochons that I showed on the first picture, the dragonfly, that like literally every bead is pressed manually. Every button is pressed manually, not
Incredible.
just automatic machine. Then I was really surprised also to see these tumbling machines, that it really looked industrial.
Mm.
And when they told me that they calibrated everything based on bead shape, size, that they know exactly that, for example, this and that shape in the 6 mm size, it will need 4 hours of tumbling.
Yeah.
Or another one, it will need 8 hours of tumbling or 16 hours of tumbling. That I'm amazed that how much experience goes into creating our beads.
It's not a one fits all approach. It's all very much tailored. That's a great picture. You look so pleased with your beads.
Those are my favorite colors, so I was super happy when I found these.
The Beadingschool colours.
Yeah.
Amazing.
But like another adventure that really intensified last year, it was our art cabochon adventure, because a few years ago we started to manufacture our own line of clay cabochons, and last year was the year when it all got big. And actually, in the signature box collection that I made now for to celebrate Beadingschool's 4th birthday, we have a completely new type of cabochon included, which like the big yellow one, which is like so rich in details. It was not possible before, and we managed to develop a completely new technique how to apply the stamping on top of it. So that's why it could be done.
Finally done. I mean, you guys are really known for offering customers really unique elements and components, and as we've just touched on, they're all so carefully sourced. But so these guys are exclusive, aren't they? And you told me that they've got a lovely story to them and how they're made. Can you tell us a little bit more about who makes these and how they're made?
Absolutely. So actually, my friend Andrea, she has a little boy, and they go, of course, to the playground very often. And Andrea is getting to know some local moms, and the kid, of course. And when they talked and started to be friends, then Andrea discovered that many of them would like to engage in some activities where they can feel proud of themselves, and they can, of course, have some income and still be able to do it besides being a mom.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, in Slovakia, mostly the moms are the ones who stay at home fully, and the maternity leave is 3 years. So it's also after a while, I think for everyone it's very desirable to like starting to get back to producing or creating something, but it's very challenging to find a workplace which would be flexible even after the 3 years when someone wants to go back to work. That it's super strict, that usually that when do you have to be there, you have to be there 8.5 hours. It's very rare that there would be a part-time job.
And then if the kid's ill, or
Indeed. So Andrea had this idea that this is where the moms can be involved. So she created this opportunity, and we have now one of the leaders of the project, Panni. She also is like a playground friend of Andrea, and it's very flexible that how and how much they contribute. Of course, like it's nicely planned in advance, so we know that approximately how many cabochons will we need, and then the workload can be distributed.
Amazing. It sounds like a really great little collaboration, and you're kind of supporting, you know, people and you know, getting great quality work done as well. It's nice when you kind of can bring small businesses together and help kind of make a difference to other people as well.
I think that's like very typical for the whole beading school adventure, that it's not just about the beads themselves, but we want to create something bigger than that. We want to create something meaningful for beaders, for the team, for everyone who is involved, in a way that it's just has a bigger impact.
I think you see that though. I mean, the fact that your boxes are not just here's a box with some pretty colours that go together. There's a whole theme and a story, and you get value for money because you get all the different project ideas, and you've got different designers on board to kind of create further inspiration. And then you've got the storytelling events and all the different things that you do that really bring it together. Nobody else is doing that. So it's yeah, I think that you're right. That is the beading school thing. It's not just about buying beads. It's that everything that comes together and bringing those people together, like your coffee times and these kind of events. So no, I think that's fabulous. And she's got a mug. Excellent.
Yeah, like we also try to really pull together the team in the treasury to also like create a nice place to work. So, for example, recently Andrea had an idea. She's full of creative ideas. We were joking with Zuzi recently that she should also join the creative team. So she had the idea that as a reward for the team for working so hard, she set up an opportunity for them to go to do Pilates.
Oh, nice.
So beading school is covering the full costs. Everyone from the team can go, and this is one of the ways how we are trying to take care of.
Oh, I think that's lovely. It's so important to look after your people, and it always surprises me how so many businesses don't get that. So it's really nice to hear that in beading world that's happening too. So that's lovely. We kind of started touching on like your highlights from the last year. Have there been any kind of business achievements, anything you guys are really proud of that, like I don't know, like numbers or kind of big stats that you guys have hit this year, and kind of targets that you've achieved that you want to share?
Well, I am very, very proud of the Beaders calendar, that it pulls together so many designers and so many beaders. So that's definitely something that I am proud of, and that would, like I knew that it will work. Like I had a gut feeling that it will be good. So I am very proud of that. Numbers, I can translate last year into numbers that, for example, we have now 10,000 beaders on the Facebook page. We have 5,000 beaders on the YouTube channel, 1,500 in the Beading School Club. But indeed, there is so much more to this than just the numbers.
No, I think you're right. And we've been going back to the people. You've had quite a kind of lot of changes within the company. You know, you were saying about celebrating your people. You've had new starters, new babies.
Yes.
There's been quite a few new things over the last year.
Yeah, over the last years, we had 2 beading school babies.
Aww.
So, of course, Andrea's baby, and he will turn 3 now in September. And then we had Dora, who I think many of our beaders know her from Secret Santa. That she also had a baby recently. So we have 2 beading school babies
really
now.
lovely news.
And indeed, like in general, the team is also expanding. And I feel very grateful to our beaders, to our community, that they keep us going with their sparkly bead orders, because without that, we would not be here and we would not be able to bring that much to the community, and to also like experiment with the projects and come up with something like the cabochons, for example.
Amazing. Yeah, it's great. It's fantastic, all the stuff you do. You've kind of had quite an eventful year as well. I mean, you've had lots of really great stuff, but you've definitely had some challenges. Do you want to share any of those?
It's so funny because in a way that last year, one of our beaders, Kimberly, I think she is here with us. I'm not sure I saw, yes. She said you look lovely, by the way. So Kimberly said that she can feel it, that in every collection that I put together, there is really like a big part of me. And actually, I would be able to tell my life story in academy boxes and curated collections. I could totally translate them. And indeed, we had Fly Me to the Moon. When I said I did not fully, sometimes I don't know first why is that thought there, and only a little bit later it comes clear, like, oh my god, again I was talking about myself and my life and my lessons in life. But yeah, we had, for example, Fly Me to the Moon, where I said that let's stop for a while and let's look at the night sky and the stars and reevaluate that. Where are we in life?
Mm-hmm.
Stand still for a moment and let's see which path do we want to change. And like, Beading School Academy boxes are in the making for about six months
Mm-hmm.
to make it happen, to order the big quantities that we need. So Fly Me to the Moon, it was July, August, but it means that I put together the material and the theme in January.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have a clue about January, that when I will be talking about Fly Me to the Moon in July and August, to stand still and reevaluate where you are heading in life, I will make a decision to start my life anew.
And now you're in your beautiful yellow flat that we can see behind you.
Yeah. Or then later, when we had the Celestial Lantern,
Mm-hmm.
then it had a backstory of like, even if you feel like you are in the darkness, then trust it that you can create your own light. And people who resonate with your values and your ways of living, then they will be attracted to your life. And we had this theme in November and December. And in December, I really started to make things happen, not just the thoughts, not just talking about it, but that's when I started to also, many of our readers know, I wrote about it publicly, that I went to Spain for egg freezing to keep my possibilities open for the future. And it was the whole thing, the monumentality of the task of like arranging this, divorcing, getting a flat, moving, painting, everything. It was so scary. And when I started to work on it, then it was during the Celestial Lantern team, and I was like, oh my god. And again, trust yourself, there is light, you can create the light, you can attract your people, you will be loved, you can love. So
Yeah. I wonder if your beaders find those resonances with the boxes. I'd be really interested to hear from them. Like if there's been a particular box that's really resonated with them and hit them at a point of their life where it's gone beyond the beads and the colours in the box, and it's really brought something out of them through the kind of the things that it's brought up through the making or the theme or the the discussions that you guys have around it. It's it's another kind of point of how for you and for so many of us that the beads go beyond that, and it's something I've been kind of I'm planning to reflect on this month with my beaders, the kind of the mental health aspect of beading, but how beads connect with us, and it's not just about a hobby, it's so much more than that. And how you can use beading to clear your head or to figure out a difficult problem, or just to sometimes have that pure escapism, because all you're focusing on is what you're doing, and your brain can get busy doing other things and sort of solving problems. And I think there's other things that do that, but not in exactly the same way. So yeah, it's always interesting to hear how many people connect to things in different ways, but in a bigger way. And Angelina's left you a lovely message saying thank you for sharing your journey,
Thank you,
which is really
Angelina.
lovely. And I mean, as well as your personal challenges, I mean, every business has its challenges, but you guys certainly had a few things thrown at you last year, didn't you? Of like, you had a flood, and that massive kind of water leak at the office,
Yeah.
and a few other kind of global challenges, as well, that kind of threw curveballs at you.
So, yeah, unexpected things happen. And I think it's true in our personal lives, and it's true also in the life of a business, that we should not wait for the times when there will be no challenges, because that's an illusion that it will come. We can focus on creating stability and continuity only by accepting that there are changes and challenges and unexpected things and obstacles. And actually, when we embrace that kind of thinking, then I think it's a lot easier to solve those when they come.
I agree. You're very wise. I might get you to write that down so I can have it here next to my desk, because that was just so beautifully put. And it's something I definitely am guilty of not leaning into. You wait for the right time, and there isn't always a right time. You've just got to go with the punches and learn to kind of
Yeah.
go with it.
But like you mentioned the flood, then we were lucky that the town where the treasury is, it was not flooded. The treasury, the building is next to the Danube River, and there were these huge, like sand obstacles built, and not just sand, but they do it now like more professionally. I don't know how to call that, like temporary dams, whatever.
We're beaders. We don't know those things.
So the Danube River was just meters away from the treasury, but while it should be like further away a little bit still. But yeah, luckily that didn't happen. But all the rain, we got leaked in, and we had to move part of the offices just before the Advent season. So now part of the treasury is on the ground floor, part of the treasury is on the third floor. We will need to deal with this situation because it's not ideal, especially because we don't have an elevator. So it's lots of running up and down.
Keeps you fit though.
Yeah, but when you're carrying also the boxes, then it's not the best way.
I say that flippantly. I used to work at a bead shop that was an old Victorian building, and we had 3, maybe 4 floors, and no lift because it was an old building, and I've never been so fit in my life. But those beads are heavy. When you've got a box of them, that's like, each one's probably 15 kilos each, isn't it? Like easily. So no, I hear you. But it sounds like you guys have kind of dealt with them all and pivoted and kind of dealt with the surprises in a positive way, which is really it's amazing.
Yeah, and the flood, thank you, Chloe. The flood, it was only partially the treasury leakage. But also, of course, the manufacturers in the Czech Republic, they were hit hard. So if we were used to of like getting the bids for a project in 2 months, then suddenly it would be 4 months. So and sometimes we already paid for those bids, we ordered them, we needed them for different projects. So of course then it's again like, okay, this was plan A, what can be plan B, C, D? So we can somehow save the cash flow, we can make the projects work, that we have the beautiful stuff for our bidders. So yeah, it's sometimes challenging, but again, like what I think works really well at bidding school now, that Andrea, Zuzi, and I dare to say that also me, that we have like two strong sides, that not only are we creatives, but also we have the structural thinking. So we are neither the creatives who can't deal with reality, neither the people focusing only on logistics and then losing the artsy.
Yeah, you've got the beautiful combination of both, which is a hard one to find.
And I think that really shows now, and we found such a great flow with Zuzi and such a great flow with Andrea. Of course, like there were times when we still needed to figure out how we work together well, and now I feel it that it's great.
Excellent.
Also, but these are the two ladies, two of my colleagues with whom I work the most. And then they work with their teams. So we are in nearly daily touch with Andrea and Susie.
Thing is, that culture starts at the top, doesn't it? And if you're encouraging that kind of creativity but the structure with you three, then that's going to trickle down to everybody, and then that then comes out to, you know, the feeders, and they see that there's that cohesiveness, but a creativity, but also a structure, and it's a business you can trust and rely on, and yeah, you make things happen and you deliver on those promises, and I think that's really important. And we've had some nice messages. Want to go back to what we were talking about, like kind of mental health side of things. There's a couple of nice comments there from your beaders.
Yeah, we have Kimberly again. She says, those quiet moments when we are beading or creating, where our mind can connect to our true self, is so crucial. Erika helps plant those seeds for everyone as her example. Kimberly, I'm glad that the thoughts resonate. And then we have Lita here. She says, Chloe, all the boxes resonate, particularly when Erika shares how she feels when she builds the team. I started beading as a mental health release valve, and it still keeps me sane. It was the same for me too, Lita.
Yeah, I think it's so easy to forget that, but for me it was that last year at uni, and I think were you the same? Am I getting you muddled with something? You started at university as well, didn't you?
Yeah, last year at university.
It was last year, and it was something completely different to my studies, and it was an hour, something I did for an hour before bed, and it just took me away from everything. And I think it's easy when you get caught up in the business side of things to forget that sometimes, and you kind of beading constantly for a deadline and I do think it's something I forget, and I need to do more of, is just taking that time to just bead for pleasure in the evening with no expectation or anything else. And it's definitely an easy one to forget when you but I equally can't imagine doing anything else as a job, because this is what I love, and this is it. I'm so all in.
This is something you are good at.
Say that again.
This is something that you are good at, where you create value. So yeah, it's a calling.
Absolutely. I think that's a really good way of saying it. It's like being a superhero.
Oh.
So yeah, that was thank you for sharing all of that. And I think what we've just talked about leads us on to my next question, actually, quite nicely. About the kind of beading school experience, as it were. And I so many beaders, you know, a lot of my bead ladies are avid customers of yours, and they tell me all the time about how they love receiving their packages. And I've been a recipient of a beading school package, and it just puts my packaging to shame. It's just beautiful. And it always just feels, from the minute you open the envelope, like a little gift, even though you may have spent the money yourself on the purchase. You know, you feel like you've got a gift, and it's just beautiful. Everything's wrapped, and it just feels so carefully packed. It's not all just chucked in a box. Everything is. I mean, I always feel sad taking things out of the box, because I can never get them back in the way that your ladies do it just beautifully. And yeah, and I know you said to me, do you have a video? You said you had a video of how the boxes are packaged and how you packaged them.
Oh my God, I forgot to
You
upload
forgot.
it.
Damn.
I forgot to upload it,
But I mean, that's an art, isn't it? Like, you guys, you have your ladies have really perfected that that packaging and that experience, so that it really starts from receiving that package right the way through to, you know, every part of beading school is carefully done.
Absolutely. So the video that you mentioned, and what I forgot to prepare in advance, is that when I was in Slovakia in February, then we again had Mona and Attila taking some videos and photos. So they wanted to make a video how I am also packing the orders. But what happened, that I was messing them up. I was trying to be involved in the process, and then my colleague was like, oh, but you pull the glue the other way, and if it's a FedEx, then you close the envelope like this, then you can see the address. And
they really know their stuff, don't
they didn't let me touch the labels.
Even Erika, please leave the postage room.
Yeah, you know, like the big labels for the boxes, because they come in one piece actually, and that needs to be cut like the fabric for quilting.
Oh, crikey.
And Anna was just, okay, just watch me, okay?
You can watch today, Erika. You may be the boss, but this is my job.
yeah, and indeed, like, I like to say that we want to create that feeling of Christmas, no matter if it's December or July, because I think we all deserve it, that to feel special, and it really matters to like carve out a bit of like celebratory time out of our day. Sometimes I don't even open my packages that I receive from the treasury right away, but I take my time, breathe out, and then I enjoy it. And actually, for the signature box this year, I, again, Erika's philosophies, 5 minutes, philosophical 5 minutes. I selected the title "Let Me Bloom," and actually the thought behind it originally was different. The thought behind it was like, by this time when I can finally show it, I will feel like I've worked hard. I feel like blooming.
I love that.
But I rewrote it yesterday.
Oh,
the afternoon. Okay, you made me cry once.
I did it. Yes.
You did it last year. I also started
and I didn't even try that time. I was just talking about packaging. Crazy. Go on, carry on.
So on Friday, I thought like my birthday will be the turning point in my life when
I made her swear. Do I get double points for that?
Okay, now I'm crying. I look horrible, and I said shit.
Beautiful. You look beautiful.
So on Friday, I thought that by my birthday, I will accomplish everything on my big to-do list that I need to do. I have this beautiful flat. It's amazing. I'm so proud of it. And it matters to me so much that actually I painted it, that I packed everything. I didn't have money for a moving company. My friends helped. I did so many things on my own. I collected furniture from the street. I went really humble and asked my friends, like, I don't have plates. I don't have cutlery. Like, can you help? And everyone chipped in, and Niti helped me so much, actually. Like, without her and her family, she's here now, I would live in a very different way without cutlery, for example. Okay, I would buy cutlery, but she had something for me, and then I could use the money elsewhere. But back to the thing that I thought that by my birthday, I will accomplish everything that I have to. My divorce papers are at the lawyer, not finalized yet, but like really last stage. The egg freezing is done, the move is done. I feel great here. But then there are things that you can't influence because it's not up to you. And on Friday, I got a major blow, which I did not. I knew that it might happen, but I thought that I'm so close and it will all be all right. And then it left me like, okay, I worked so hard and now I'm crying.
I think we set these impossible deadlines for ourselves, don't we?
Yeah, it's we can't make a to-do list of life. And then I had to rewrite my story of Let Me Bloom. Then I felt it's about something else. It's about taking care of ourselves, to like really carve out the time, the energy, the moment every day to somehow nourish ourselves
and bloom in the moment. Be happy with the moment you're in, and in yourself as you are, not in the person that you hope to be or the goal you expect to get to. It's finding that way of being happy and blooming.
Yeah,
now
and being grateful. And it can be done with a sparkly bead order that we reward ourselves with. It can be done with a cup of nice coffee. It can be done by connecting. When I was in Alicante, Chloe, that meant so much to me.
Aww.
And yeah, that's when, if we take care of ourselves, then we can give back to the community.
Absolutely.
And attract of like the magic to our lives.
Yeah, absolutely. The goodness and what you put out there comes back at you as well. And I wanted to just come back to that because you were saying about how your friends showed up for you. And I'm a firm believer that what you put out there in energy, or, you know, whatever you believe in spiritually, but what you put out there comes back to you. And I think you had an amazing group of friends that rallied around you when you needed them in your personal life, because you've always put out good stuff and done that for other people. And I think the business reflects that. You've put out so much goodness with your free patterns and your, you know, the great content that you guys create. And I think that it all comes back round. And I think that's why you've got such a lovely group of community of beaders who are all here giving you hugs and flowers and all sorts of things right now in the chat. So yeah, I think that's, you guys are, you know, you're a special company. But at the end, I said this last time, but you know, you're at the helm, and you're not, you know what help makes that beading school what it is. Really, it's your energy and your ethos and everything that goes into it. And you and Susie and brain's not working. Who's your other right hand lady?
Sorry?
Who's your, my brain's not working. I've forgotten your other right hand lady. Not Susie. We mentioned Susie. Andrea, of course it is.
Yeah,
sorry,
she's
Andrea.
Not my right hand lady. We are like
the team.
Both are like,
yeah,
the moms.
the dream team. But you know, you guys, you know, that's, I think that hard work and great ethos that you've all put in is what comes back at you. And Erika said karma, which is absolutely, it's bang on really. And I made you cry, so we'll move on from that. Do you want to tell us about Beading School the future? We've talked a lot about the past, the last year, what you've got going on, but can you tell us what you've got planned for the future? Have you got any little projects at the moment that you're able to spill the beans on, or the beads, as if you were?
Yeah. So, well, I need to take a moment to actually think, because I got a bit of track.
You did. Well, I've got a couple of hints for you. Here we go. What about your signature box? Is that something you're allowed to tell us about?
Oh my God, the signature box is out since yesterday. And if somebody didn't get it yet, then we still have signature boxes. And yeah, this is actually the theme that I was. It was inspired by this theme, by this thought that I was talking about, the Let Me Bloom. And every year I put together a collection that brings the colors of Beading School: the pink for pink for compassion, the yellow for a positive approach, and turquoise for creativity,
So much
and
thought
similar
goes into it.
shades. And I always like to bring in components from our most valued partners and the most valuable things that we can give to our readers. So that's why I put in also the art cabochon on the picture.
And it's like a mandala, isn't it? Which is just, it's lovely.
Yeah. And do you know what is the best part about it? That
What?
it can be peyote bezeled with 64 beads. So then you can have all kinds of embellishments, because it's easy to divide it into sections.
We're such nerds, aren't we? I love it. That makes us both so happy.
But also, like what you see on the picture now, and thanks Susie for the link, the Naumann clasp from Germany, and we also visited them last year, and we saw the production, and we could take some pictures and videos, and yeah, that was also such a nice experience.
Oh, you guys have so many great adventures. It's wonderful. It is so important to visit if you can, to visit those manufacturers and see things up close. I think it just makes such a difference.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
That was so nice.
And I feel like I've already made you cry, so I don't know whether to ask my next question.
Oh, feel free. I do have, at this moment, I do have napkins in all rooms and all parts of my flat. Changes and growth. It's also sometimes painful, so yeah, they are needed.
Okay, so I think it was just we've celebrated you there. I made you, we've chatted about how wonderful you are. But I think you guys really celebrate your customers, and there's not many stores that do that as well as you do. And through the Facebook group, the social media, the blog, where you have the kind of Meet the Beader articles. I think we've kind of touched on this already, but why is that so important to you? Why is it that really is something that's become a really big part of what you guys do?
We are a circle. We are together in it. I really don't like the concept of companies when it's like dripping down to the customers. No, I don't call these are our beaders. These are our family. And we created together Beading School. So where would I be if I was just writing my tutorials here behind my desk? We need each other. It's great. And everyone should be celebrated. And I learned so much from our beaders. We get feedback, we see the creative ideas. Recently, it was a long project, because we had to have lots of meetings to arrange that. But for example, one of our Swedish beaders brought it to our attention that the post office removes the name tags, and they don't include the name on the letter on the parcels, only the street and only the city. And then she has trouble getting the package. So we wanted to find a solution. So we started to negotiate with UPS. And of course, it took some time, because negotiating takes time. But now actually we are celebrating also the achievement during the birthday week that we managed to arrange with UPS, that already from €100 we will send every package all around the world upgraded to UPS or FedEx. So, and that's thanks to Sarah. We wouldn't know that there is a problem if she wouldn't tell us. So it's amazing that she opened up and wrote, and it didn't just walk away and being angry. But I'm so grateful to her. But also, like, we will have a Beader Appreciation Day or celebrate a community day during the Beading School birthday week.
Oh, lovely.
And it is a tradition already from the beginning. And some of our beaders, like you can see it on every beader's journey, how they are skyrocketing when they start to follow the academy, from just following simple patterns to like more complicated ones, and then developing their own designs. And actually, some of our beaders will share their tutorials during that beader celebration.
Oh, amazing. What a way to really nurture somebody through and improve confidence. That's awesome.
I love seeing that happen.
And you've got some lovely comments there. Debbie saying she thinks the treasurer makes us feel like family, which is kind of echoing what you were saying, really, which is just beautiful. And then there's a lot of people getting on with Belinda, who said, oh, here we go. There's Debbie's comment. Lovely. And Belinda's got loads of people going, yes, Belinda, 100%. Amazing.
So sweet.
Fantastic.
Angelina says, your stories have often given me strength.
Oh.
I'm so happy to know that, Angelina. Oh, and Sue just got the signature box.
Some treats are coming your way.
Thank you so much for trusting us again, Sue.
Well, do we have any questions from beaders for Erika?
I'm actually very curious, and I just wanted to suggest and whatever you would like to know. Like, this day is also very much dedicated to not only technical aspects of beading, but everything what's happening behind the scene. You can also try to make me cry if you feel like it.
While we're waiting for their questions, I got one more that I didn't ask you. That is kind of a bit random and out there because it's not linked to anything else we just said. But you mentioned earlier the Advent calendar and how that's like a real highlight for you guys. Are you allowed to give us any kind of hints of what we can expect for this year? Because I believe this is the 6th year. Is that right?
I think it is. It is, because we already, even if it's the storytelling, even if it's the 4th birthday of Beading School, we already did the Advent calendar as the storytelling jeweler. So there are more Advent calendars than Beading School birthdays. And well, let me tell you. A few years ago, we started to intensely collaborate with the Preciosa Crystal Factory. And I love them. I loved them way before they would become the only option. And well, as years pass, the community grows, then we can engage in bigger and bigger projects with them, because sometimes the minimum order quantities, for example, for a special coating or a special shape, they are kind of insane. And thanks to the community growing, we can now make these projects happen. So this year there will be a big upgrade in how we work together in the Preciosa Crystal Factory. And beaders who got the Shamrock box, they already, that was my St. Patrick's collection.
It's going to be something sparkly this year.
Yeah, there was already something sparkly signaling the collaboration strengthening. also in the signature box there is something other sparkly in a different color, but there is a lot more coming. And actually also tomorrow during No One Has to Be Alone, I will also show something that is related to that.
Oh, so stay tuned for tomorrow.
Indeed. So it will have like chapters all through the year. And tomorrow, like, watch No One Has to Be Alone, ladies. It's on my beat mat.
How exciting. That is a tease if we haven't heard one. And we got some nice questions come through as well now. So that was, which one are you going for?
Oh, I also, sorry, I just want to thank Niti for her nice comment. Erika is a born teacher and it shows through in her encouragement. And thank you so much for saying that, Niti. And Niti, we have Niti and we have Niti. So Niti said, do you have anything big coming in the foreseeable future? Well, I think the Preciosa collaboration, that is something that I'm very, very proud of. And oh my God, it will blow off your minds, ladies. No One Has to Be Alone already tomorrow. It will be big and sparkly. And then Sarah says, we laugh and cry together too, not just beading. Love this community. And I think this was how it developed. It was very much affected by the fact that it got very intense when COVID hit and when everyone was emotional. So then in the club, we were really emotional together. During teaching, we were really emotional. And then it stayed. And it's great.
And I think it's important because it kind of highlights, and I find this with my bead ladies and my groups, that you know, you come together because you've got this love of beads, and actually in the real world outside of that, you wonder whether you may have had that connection, but you do find that actually the beading becomes almost a secondary part of the relationship. It's something that brought you together in the first place, but actually you just find you've got these kind of I don't know what the word is, like it's, you kind of get each other and you support each other, and even though you might be quite different, you might have different political beliefs or, you know, anything like that, but you just find that bead people are wonderful and everyone supports each other. And yeah, it's got me through some tough times having that beading family. And I find it interesting talking to kind of non-beading friends, you know, like the school mums or you know, friends that aren't in the beading world or the beading community, who also find that whole term, the beading world, hilarious when I've mentioned it, but they don't get it. And I think, you know, even my lovely husband doesn't really understand that whole connection that we have, that it's so much more than just you know, internet friends or a bead group. It's much more than that.
It's much more. And I do have a belief that even if in the news we read about the bad stuff, unfortunately, most of the time, but in my belief system, the big majority of people are good.
Mm-hmm.
We just don't know each other. There is a barrier. Everyone tries to keep himself safe, especially these days, by creating kind of like a distance. We are locked behind our screens, even when we are physically in the same space, but everyone is looking at the phone. And we consciously need to create opportunities for people when they sit down together and start to talk and get to know each other. And that can be thanks to a cooking club, a gardening club, a beading club, whatever. But then when we have, let's say, an excuse to spend time together and to get to know each other, then I think this belief that
we're all different.
We are all different, but everyone has the same feelings. Everyone craves the same kind of love, accomplishment, and being proud of herself and sharing her personality, that we are all the same.
We're all the same, yeah.
And
See,
Yeah,
they need you in the committees on Parliament and everything else. If they had the beading ladies in there, none of this would. We'd be in a happy, loving world, wouldn't we? There wouldn't be any drama.
yeah, and like we have so many different backgrounds. Like Chloe, we sent packages to Taiwan, to Japan, to Peru, to Iceland, to South Africa, to the States, Sweden, Germany, whatever. So many countries. We have members from beaders from different age groups, very different backgrounds, very different histories. But despite those differences, or sometimes I think thanks to those differences, because we make it all colorful and diverse, this all works and it's great and it feels so good.
I think that's just the perfect way to sum up the session, really, and the what you guys do. It's lovely.
Well, I'm really grateful that this can be actually the vast majority of my life, that the vast majority of my days can be spent in the beading world, in the beading community, or creating something for the beading community. And yeah, I'm super grateful for it, that I can keep spreading the message. I'm grateful that I get to know absolutely amazing people, from the people creating our beads, friends, designers, beaders who are here with us and beyond. So yeah, this makes my world sparkly and colorful.
Oh, that's lovely, Erika. Well, thank you for sharing all that with us. It's been really lovely to talk to you, and it's sort of nice that we can do this, and it feels unique, and you're just so generous and sharing with your experiences and your lived experiences. So thank you for that, and I'm saying that on behalf of everyone who's here today as well. So thank you.
Well, thank you for making the time, Chloe, to join me again.
Absolutely.
And thank you for your amazing, honest questions. And do you want to make a bet if you will make me cry in 2026?
Guaranteed. Yeah, absolutely. Do I get a prize next time?
Well, it will be third time if you make me cry next year too. So
I think I made you cry one of the first times I met you in person as well, didn't I? I'm pretty sure.
you made me cry back then also?
I think so, yeah.
Oh my God, I'm so
I'm good at this. I'm good at this. I just get right to the core of it.
Indeed. And if can I have 2 more minutes?
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, go. I didn't want to cut you off. I just wanted to, yeah.
Yeah. So just one thing that is like also happening these days, that I actually went to see my therapist on Monday, and then afterwards we kept messaging a bit. She's helping me to get through some troubles, and I wrote her that I always felt ashamed a bit and felt that I am weak because I easily cry, and that I have like big emotional reactions, that I always thought that staying stoic is the way to go. Oh my God, this happened, I can deal with it. But she said that actually it's the opposite, that a strong personality, a strong character has strong feelings, and you let yourself feel them and go through them. So it really switched something in my mind that she elaborated on this, because I felt like I'm failing. And yeah, I'm so grateful to her.
Oh, that's lovely. I mean, I can really relate to that. I've been through similar and spent years being told, "Oh, you're too sensitive," and it being a negative. And it's only very recently that I've had the same revelation, and it's actually, I think I cry less now almost because I'm not pushing it down or holding it down in a way. But I was the same as you, and I'm particularly in like corporate work meetings. If I get anxious, I would just cry because I'd be angry and I couldn't express myself.
Yeah.
And I always worried that it made me look weak or stupid or, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that's been a big awakening for me as well. And I'm sure so many other beaders can relate to that, that we're passionate people and we shouldn't be ashamed of that. But there is a lot of built in, whether it's from, you know, childhood or just culture, like, you know, but so yeah, you should be really proud of yourself for that. That's a big awakening, I guess is the word.
Yeah, it's a very transformative period. And also thank you, Chloe, for sharing that about yourself. And indeed, I agree that letting those feelings out, that is actually helpful, and facing them instead of pushing everything under the carpet and they just bubble up in a way that we can't even explain.
Absolutely. Or they hit us in our health and all sorts of things. So yeah, it's something I've explored myself, and I know a few of my beading friends have been exploring that. The difference, it's just important not to repress emotion, because it comes up and bites you in the bottom somewhere else. So
Absolutely.
oh, well, thank you for sharing that. That's really lovely. And yeah, I know I can see in the chats that everyone's sort of with you on that and says that they've had similar experiences and are grateful to you for sharing that.
Well, thank you everyone for being here with us today. And I would still like to invite everyone for tomorrow's No One Has to Bead Alone at the usual time. And during the birthday week, we always do a special one because we don't show what we are going to bead. And it's going to be a surprise design made by Zuzi. So we have the material list online. And then it step by step unfolds on our bead mat. So it will be a very exciting one.
And that's the same time tomorrow.
That's at the same time tomorrow. And as I said, indeed, I will actually bring something tomorrow to show you during No One Has to Bead Alone, which is here in my hands.
Oh, I'm so excited. You're such a tease. I can't wait.
It will be super blinky. And also, I would love to share again the code for the signature box. That
wrong way. There we go.
Yeah, much love and much creativity went into it. And thank you so much, ladies, everyone who already placed an order for this, and I really, really, really appreciate it. And if you have a moment, then please share the link on your own personal profiles with your fellow beaders. We would really appreciate your help with spreading the message. And yeah, also more surprises are coming during the designer day and the beader day. So there is much more to come during the birthday week. And thank you, everyone. And thank you, Chloe.
You're so welcome. Thank you for having me. And thank you for answering my questions.
And Chloe, we can stay here. I will show a super nice video to our beaders, but we can stay here and say goodbye to each other afterwards if you would like to.
Okay, fab.